Yo, 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 what's up everybody? So I was just playing my my Jackson JS32 Warrior here, and I think it might be time for a restring on this thing. Yeah, so I've just been messing around with it a little bit, you know, the usual just metal riffings, you know. In that playing, I've kind of noticed a couple things that might be pointing towards maybe it's time to give this guitar a little setup. So, this guitar does have a dreaded Floyd Rose bridge system on it, which if you're familiar, you hate working on these things. Me personally, I don't like working on them, but I don't really mind it. I worked in a guitar store for a couple years as a guitar tech, so I've got a lot of experience working on them. However, my guitar is a lot different because I have a tremolo, which is a mod in this guitar that essentially turns this into a hardtail, so I don't even have to do any annoying Floyd Rose stuff when setting up this guitar. So, all right, well, let's get started. Let's get these old strings off. I've got a pack. I've had this pack for a couple months. I bought these, the 1150 string joy orbiters. These are the coated ones, and this has the same exact string on there, except it's a 1152 right now is the string gauge I have on here, but I felt like I didn't really need that 52. I keep this guitar in D standard, whole step down tuning. This is my this is my guitar that I used to play all my death metal on. This is the first guitar. I guess I've had this guitar for like, holy crap, like, yeah, like 3 years now. And this is the first guitar I bought that had humbuckers. And I changed out the bridge for a DiMarzio X2N. Can you tell I'm a bit of a Chuck Schuldiner death fan? Yeah, that's really it. I've kind of just not really changed much else besides the tremolo and the X2N. Everything else is stock. And yeah, it's a totally solid guitar. I would probably change these tuners out because I do leave this unlocked most of the time since I don't use the Floyd Rose. And these stock tuners kind of suck. It holds its tune. This is stuck right now. What's going on? Great. Just Floyd Rose things. We're just gonna give this a good tap, thinking. What is going on there? Is that rust? Is it fucking rusted on? What is happening? I've never had this happen. Okay, we're gonna spray a little deoxit in there. This is electronics cleaner, but it also does kind of lubricate things up. Are you kidding me? I'm not gonna be able to get these screws underneath it off either because I was thinking I could just take off the nut and then I'll just like get it off once it's off the guitar, but the block is covering the screws. Actually, you know what? Maybe those screws will kind of provide like some lift from beneath the nut, and it'll kind of, maybe, hopefully it'll kind of work to like take it out of there. We're gonna have to use the iFixit screwdriver. It's a little more petite. Oh, we should probably like loosen the strings before we do this. Yeah, so it's like, it's shit like this where people are like, say like why they don't like working on a Floyd Rose. It's shit like this is why guitar techs don't like working on Floyd Rose guitars sometimes, because like setting up the actual bridge is fine. It's just like every fucking time I touch a Floyd Rose, there's always some bullshit like this happening. Like the hardware's always beat to shit, like screws are stripped. Stuff just is fragile on these bridges sometimes. I got it. Jesus, man. What happened? What the f am I looking at? Dude, whatever. I really had to pull on that. I was afraid the string was gonna break. And I would have much rather pulled on that string than the unwound string next to it, because that shit would have been cutting right into my fingers. We can proceed now. This shit was so... That was messed up. There you go, yeah. So you can see like the bridge, I just took all the tension off of it and it's like basically fine. Like it's doing something, but not really. Oh man, I'm getting sad working on this here, man. Whenever I'd work on guitars and I'd be like restringing it or whatever, Mila would come over and always swat at the strings and stuff. She'd sit right there and swat at them. I miss that little kitty. It's been a couple days now since she passed away. I had mustered up the strength yesterday to kind of clean up down here a little bit and put the couch back together at least. Just felt, I don't know. It's just weird, you know, it was left in this torn apart state that, you know, it got that way to begin with because I tore it apart trying to find her and found her dying. Anyway, enough of that. Little buddy's good though. He's just chilling. He's actually been coping pretty well. So I'm happy about that. I think those are 3mm. No, 2.5. Bingo. Oh my god, this hardware is so shitty. This is like the licensed Floyd Rose bridge, and it's just shitty. I can actually see it looks like it's like rusting and like paint's coming off. It's like coming off up there. Like I said, I've only had this guitar 3 years. I've never gigged it. Like, I don't play it that often. I can't imagine what would have happened to the Floyd hardware if I played this thing out a lot. Still a good guitar. I do recommend it. Just be ready to kind of do a couple mods. Like, the pickups sound fine. Honestly, like, the pickups sound totally fine, but it might be worth putting a nicer bridge and tuners and nut into this guitar if you ever buy a JS32. Other than that, though, it's been good. The fretwork isn't, like, the greatest, but it's totally fine. Like, I've got the action, what is probably low enough for 99% of players, so I'm not too worried about the fretwork. But I don't know, man. It's just one of those guitars. I think I got this thing for like 400 bucks. It's just one of those guitars where like it's totally sick, but it is a little cheap. So you're gonna notice some cheap isms, especially, you know, buying a brand new $400 guitar, because they're trying to get a lot of features into this guitar for that price. You got 2 humbuckers, you've got a Floyd Rose. That on its own is like kind of expensive just to get a guitar with a Floyd. And for as cheap as this guitar is, the Floyd, it's fine. Like, it's totally fine. It feels fine to play, for sure. And it stays in tune really well. It's just like the materials are always so soft on these licensed Floyd Roses. And so you just have to be really careful with them. It's really just like the fretwork and the hardware could be better. But the fretwork, like I said, is not that bad at all. Like, nothing's poking my hands and the action's plenty low without much buzzing. However, could be a little bit better, but that's just gonna be any cheap guitar, in my opinion. So something you can see about this is a matte finish, and something I learned working in the music store is the best a matte guitar ever looks is the day it comes off the assembly line, because after that, you can see around the volume knob in particular, see it's a little polished there. That's from me just doing this over and over again, and my hand polishes up the guitar right there, just over time. And same thing here, you can see here and here from my picking hand doing stuff. So we're not gonna wanna polish this guitar up with like any sort of compound or anything. I'm sort of just gonna kind of lightly dust it, but it's pretty clean. There's not really anything nasty on this guitar, at least the body right now, just like your normal grime and dust and stuff. Thinking I might be able to get the action a little lower. I might be able to straighten out the neck a bit more. These frets are a little high up here, and I don't have any fret leveling tools right now, so I can't really fix it. Like, and I don't really want to like home style it, because I also don't have time right now. This is lemon oil, just Dunlop lemon oil. It's literally like mineral oil with lemon fragrance, but it works well. Hydrates, cleans, and it renews, and it protects it as well. I'm a very, very big proponent of not even necessarily this product in particular. This is just what I use because it's what I use, but you can even go down to like any hardware store, any Home Depot, any Lowe's, anything like that, and just pick up a bottle of lemon oil, and it's like 10 times bigger than this, and it's like the same price, if not cheaper, because it's not being sold by Dunlop, it's being sold by Hank's Lemon Oil Company or whatever, I don't know. The fingerboard does get kind of dried out on most types of wood. Usually you see maple is finished a lot with a gloss finish over it. You wouldn't use lemon oil on that. You would just use like a regular polish to clean the fingerboard. I'm just gonna kind of come through here, and you can see there's some dry spots / dirt on the up against the frets, but this guitar is actually pretty clean. I have set up some nasty guitars, nasty, disgusting guitars in my time working as a guitar tech. It's like you set it up and you're like, who, and you're looking at the name on the ticket and you're like, who is this? Like, I don't recognize this. And then the dude comes in to pick up his guitar and you take one look at him. It's like, yeah, of course you would be the person to bring this guitar in here. And I have no problem saying this, dude. It's f***ing nasty. It's just like bringing like a really dirty car to like the dealership or something to get some work done, you know? Like, I'm not saying your shit has to be brand new, but like, when I'm saying a guitar is nasty, like, that's crazy. You're a dirty person if a guitar is nasty. It takes 10 seconds to clean a guitar, dude. Just like wipe it down. Like, even like you know, like, and a really dirty fingerboard too, same thing. A little bit harder to do, but it's not that hard. And it's like, oh, I know it's coming to me, the guitar tech, to get clean, but still, dude, like, there's some stuff it's just gross. Like, I've gone through 20 Q-tips cleaning the frets, and each one of them is stained green afterwards. Stringjoy is great. Highly recommend them. Very, very nice strings, last a long time. The coated strings feel really good. They're like, it's like a very subtle coating. They stay in tune really well, and they're very balanced. They just like feel great. Highly, highly recommend Stringjoy. Stringjoy is good. To string up a Floyd Rose, if you've never done this, this might seem weird. Cut the ball end off. You slip it here in the bridge, and then you tighten it down real good. I mean, I hate to say it, but you kind of want to cinch that thing on there because, you know, the string's going to be under over 150 pounds of tension or something. 100 pounds. No, wait, these are guitar strings, not bass strings. The string's going to be under quite a few pounds of tension. So you really want that to be held in there real nice, you know? Now, let me show you. Watch this part carefully. This is how you restring a guitar. If you complicate your guitar restringing method 5% more complicated than this, you're doing too much. It's so simple. For wound guitar strings, meaning it is not bare metal, all you do, pull it through, put your finger over the fret, pull back one fret, kink. Okay. So now you've got your distance locked down perfectly for the amount of winds that you want on the tuner. Now look at my hand. I'm just holding some tension, right? I'm holding it on the nut, and then I'm keeping the string up, not flying around. I'm just using my finger to keep some tension on it. Now with my left hand, you don't need a string winder to do this, but I have a string winder. You just wrap it. Make sure it's going the right way, and check it out. So now when you're doing this, you want to make sure that you keep tension on the string, and you want to make sure that the winds go one under the other, right? See how this is going around the post under the first wrap I just did? Hold on, let's put this up so I don't take my eye out. Check it out. Look, and see, look, there's not a lot of tension on it. I'm not worried about that. All we gotta do, just take our nail, just push it up, right? Just loosen it a little bit. That's it. Boom, done. Look at that. That's perfect. That is all you need to do. Take it, pull it back one fret, kink it, and wrap it. And just wrap it one under the other. And make sure you're going the right way for your headstock. This guitar, all the tuners are in line. They're all on the same side of the headstock. They're all going to turn away from me. You don't want your string winding going like this around the other side. You want it to go straight onto the tuner, one under the other. Unwound strings are a little different. You just want to pull back 2 frets with the unwound strings, right? So instead of doing this and then kinking, I would do this, right? Start here and then pull to here. And the reason you do that is the unwound strings like to enjoy just a few more windings around the tuning post in order to have better tuning stability and to be less likely to fly off of the tuning post. But that's it. And you don't even have to do that. Like, I didn't start doing 2 windings on unwound strings until like, I don't know, a year after I had been setting up guitars for money, and I had never had an unwound string fly off the tuning post. But that's just some advice I've gotten from a luthier that I highly respect and trust. That's how I do it now. Pull back, kink the string, and then I'm pushing down on the string gently just to make sure the string winds go one under the other here, right? Look, see, it's coming down. I can just do this. Boom, do that. Now pull on it so it's not going to slip down anymore. And we're good. Right? And that's all the tension you need to start with. Yo, what's up? So in a classic Gavin move, I've gone ahead and time skipped to the next day here. My GoPro's SD card filled up, so I'm just gonna film this on the phone because I only have a couple things to say here real quick. So we skipped to the next day because I ran out of time to film yesterday. However, the guitar is all strung up. So all I did since I was last touching this guitar on camera is put the remaining strings on, and I played it a bunch yesterday, and now we're actually gonna check and see how the setup's doing. So 2 things we're gonna measure here. Very important. These are really the 2 things that I care about right now with this guitar. Is 1, the truss rod relief, and 2, the string height. So let me show you something. Pay attention very, very closely here. I'm going to show you how to check the truss rod relief on any guitar or bass very, very easily, very accurately, and very toollessly. Check it out. So what you want to do is you take your guitar. This works on any guitar. Go ahead and take your fretting hand and push right where the neck meets the body, right? You're going to want to fret right about there. For me, that looks to be my 19th fret. You know, give or take. It doesn't really matter. I could be on the 17th, but I'm going to go on the 19th. Now, next thing you're going to do, this is kind of important, is take your left hand, or your fretting hand, whichever hand you're using, and go ahead and tap. You're going to want to tap on the 5th fret. Now listen for this little clinking noise here. So I can hear that, but also really what I'm looking for is there's going to be a little bit of relief, and I'll try and show this on camera, but I'm not filming particularly well right now. So what you're looking for is the distance between the string and the fret. And if you're able to see, like, the gap should be, like, really small. If you have, like, a nice guitar. This guitar, like, I could possibly bring the neck back a little bit more. However, this guitar is not going to tolerate having a super straight neck really well because the fretwork isn't particularly stellar. If I had a guitar with, like, really great fretwork, which I do, I have my Red Squire Strat that I made a video about, that guitar is able to tolerate having a really, really straight neck for 2 reasons. The neck is mounted straight. The neck's not twisted or anything. It's a bolt-on, so it hasn't, like, settled weird over time. And 2, I did the fretwork on that guitar, so I didn't, like, refret it, but I did level the frets myself, and I did a pretty good job, which is evident by the fact that the guitar is able to have a really straight neck. So, all that being said, this guitar is not really going to tolerate having the neck any straighter. You're going to want to experiment on your guitar, right? I love, love, love to measure my guitars this way. I don't really use a truss rod relief tool 99% of the time because I don't find it to be necessary. I'm able to really, really get a good idea of where my necks are sitting based on this measurement that I just took right here on my 5th fret, and also by eyeballing it. I'll eyeball it like this, and I can see the neck has got a very slight bow, a little bit of relief in it, and then I'll eyeball it the other way as well. I'll look down the neck like this. And yeah, so this is great because I can see that there's a very, very small amount of relief in the neck, and the neck is not twisted either. There's no humps in the neck. It's the wood is very even, and the frets are the only thing that would need attention on this neck, and they would be worth giving a fret level because I can see that there's no twists or curves or anything messed up in the wood itself. So, all in all, the neck's good. If I want to bring my action down on this guitar, it's gonna have to be through the bridge now, right? The only time that you should be adjusting your bridge is after you've adjusted the neck, because bridge adjustments are all based off of a contingency that the neck is already set, it's already straight, it's already in a good position, right? If you adjust your bridge and then adjust your neck, you've just adjusted your bridge to be in spec with a neck that was not properly adjusted. So always, always, always have a good order of operations when you're doing that. Adjust the neck, adjust the bridge, right? Truss rod, height, like bridge, saddle height, then intonate. All right, so let's see. I'm going to measure in metric measurements. I hate working on guitars in imperial measurements. The distances are far too small to be doing like hundredths and tenths of inches. So let's go ahead and measure here. So on my low string, and the way that you measure action, you'll notice I'm fretting up here. Measure at the 12th fret, first finger, and looks like this is something I learned, is to fret. I didn't actually do this for a while, but luthier friend of mine taught me that. So yeah, so I'm coming in at 1.5 millimeters on my low string, which is pretty low action. And on my high string, I've got very low action, about 0.88 millimeters. So this guitar is right where I want it. It's been intonating well when I was playing it yesterday. The strings are staying in tune. You can see I have the tuners unlocked right now. So I'll go ahead and lock those up as soon as the strings are done stretching over the next day or two. So I'm not having to make a ton of adjustments with the fine tuners every time I pick it up. And yeah, that's all. Thanks for watching. Everything I said, by the way, about this is how you do this, set up your guitar how you like, but hopefully I could impart some wisdom on people. I worked with some really, really talented guitar techs. I was taught by a very talented luthier, not like an apprenticeship or anything, but a luthier, a legitimate luthier, a guy who builds guitars. I get tons of pointers and tips and tricks from him all the time, and he really is a genius. And like I said, the guitar techs I worked with were very talented, and one of them also had trained with a different luthier who was very talented. And above all else, I've worked on hundreds, if not thousands, of guitars. Not thousands, but definitely hundreds of guitars in my time at the music store. So take everything I say with a grain of salt, as always, but this is the way I work on guitars, and as far as I can tell, my guitars play really nicely, my basses play really nicely, and when I work on other people's stuff, they love the way it plays. So